if you want to do the exercises again and go through the processes again. So you can do that too. And yeah, if anyone joins late, then they join late. So what I'm going to do is just a really, really short introduction. You guys kind of already know me. Hayley, you know me. Melissa, you might not know me so well. And for anyone watching this might not know me. So I'm going to do a very quick introduction. So I'm Antonia, and I'm based in Cambridge in the UK. And I started my sort of journey into this work with kinesiology. That Hayley is a kinesiologist as well. So it was, back when I was 27, I trained in kinesiology. And I always share this story because it's really relevant to this webinar. I saw a kinesiologist because I was burning out. And I was burning out because I've got some big karmic 8s in my soul contract. And we're going to go through a soul contract demo with maybe 1 or 2 of you today to sort of get into the energy so you can understand them. But 8's all about putting up boundaries. And I worked for someone and I didn't really have any boundaries with her. So I burnt out. And I went to see this kinesiologist. And the second time I saw her, I felt so safe with her that I shared a really big emotional thing with her, that I'd never had a serious relationship. And I felt that there was something wrong with me. And it was very, very deep. I could barely feel it. It was sort of really buried down. And I think I was 26 at the time. And in the session, we released a block around feeling worthy of love. And it was a massive release. I felt it kind of coming up and all the way through my body, crying, laughing, snot, tears, everything. And a few weeks later, I met my boyfriend, who I was with them for 3 years. So I'm a very, very, very big believer in the power of releasing deep subconscious emotions and the massive impact that it has in our lives. And I'm sure some of you might have had some similar experiences. Lots of nodding. Yes, I think we've probably all been there. When we release something catalytic, it has massive shifts in our life. So I love this work, and I studied kinesiology, and my passion is getting to the root cause of symptoms with the emotions. You know, what's the big emotional stuff underneath the surface? And that led me into divine healing, which is created by kinesiologists. And again, that goes really deep into the subconscious on a multi-dimensional level. So we're clearing from other realities, past lives, we're clearing soul contract programming. And I'll go into that later. And divine healing was absolutely wonderful. And this is why I wanted to run this webinar, because I use it on myself all the time. I use it on clients, and the processes are beautiful, gentle, but powerful. And really, I love to help women overcome fear and self-doubt, because that's my journey. I'm all about overcoming my own fears, my own self-doubt about my worthiness, and my lack of belief in myself. So that's the exact same person I love to work with. And they're normally people like me who are quite sensitive to others, quite gentle, and are all about stepping back into their power and putting boundaries up. And I really, really enjoy working with people like that. So that's me. And what I thought is always really, really nice is just to connect the energy of the group. So if you feel comfortable, and you don't have to, you could just say a quick, what's your name, where you are in the world, and maybe what brought you here, just in a very short summary, or maybe what your intention is, whatever feels good to say. And if you don't feel comfortable, then you don't have to. Emily, you're off mute, you're keen.
I'm Emily. I live in near Hitchin, which is in the UK, not far north from London. I met you, Antonia, I think through Instagram, in the capacity of a kinesiologist, because I studied kinesiology, and I've had divine healing from you and a soul contract reading, and I loved both, and I would love to have more divine healing from you because it was so powerful. It really helped me. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Emily. So happy that you're here, because you're just gonna get more from this, because yeah, perfect. Thank you. Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Emma, you're ready.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm in Portugal, and I've had a soul contract reading from Antonia, and actually we're in the middle of doing a name optimization, and I just love what you do. I love your energy. I love all the learning about all these different ways of empowering ourselves. It's exactly what you said. Anything that helps us stand into our power, I'm all over. So I don't particularly have an intention this evening, apart from just learning more about this work.
Thank you, Emma. Very happy to have you here. Anyone else like to say hello? Oh, Melissa. Hi, Diane.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa. I'm from Denver, Colorado. And I believe I met Antonio through level 1 soul contracting. You were helping out David. So kind of, conversations back and forth. And then also just, with Zoom links and things like that. I think you kind of handled that part. So what brought me here today is really what you posted is what's holding you back. I feel like, I haven't worked since my first child was born, which was 19 years ago. And I've had my awakening about over COVID, like 3.5 years. It's very like generational. My mom's just, clairvoyant. And I just started having a lot of stuff over COVID. So I decided to look into more like numerology. And that's how I came across soul contract reading. And I think it's so beautiful. And I just feel like I'm still kind of even, I'm going into level 2, and I still feel like, every day I'm like, should I create a website? Should I do this? Because I've done it for family and friends. And they're like, Melissa, you're so good at this. You should do this. But there's something just holding me back. And I don't know if it's me just supporting my husband, running his business, which is kind of what I've been doing most of my life with him. I just kind of want to venture out myself and have my own identity now that my boys are 17 and 19. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what's holding me back. And I always go back to my chart constantly. And I have had a divine healing as well, but we never really touched base on that subject.
Yeah.
And I've done other modalities as well. I'm a Reiki master practitioner as well. But I don't work outside the home. I pretty much just family and friends. I haven't leaked it out to like really any clients that I don't know. So there's something holding me back from that. And I don't know if it's more the imposter syndrome, because I feel like my mom had that when she was always seeing things and having revelations. People are just like, Mary, you must have just had a dream, or you're so connected with your children, So, I feel like there's still that like wall between, the physical and the spiritual with me. So I'm kind of curious more about that today.
Perfect. Yeah. And first of all, yep, you can 100% do it, but it's really easy for people to say that on the surface, but deep down, there's something that keeps pulling you down and back. And sometimes with divine healing sessions, things have to come up in a certain priority, a certain order. We can't always get to the really deep rooted stuff without going through the layers. And I've got a nice diagram of an onion to show everyone how that works. So that might have been why that didn't come up in that session. It just wasn't the timing, the priority. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Perfect. And hi, Diana. We're just doing little quick introductions. You're so welcome to say where you are, what brought you here, just very briefly.
Yes, I'm Diana, and I live in Newmarket, which is quite near Cambridge, where Antonia lives. What brought me here? Antonia, basically. Antonia had her treatment room in Newmarket, and I walked past it and saw emotional healing, and I thought, oh yeah, that's me, and that's how I, made the appointment. And it started with the kinesiology, and then I've had a soul contract reading, and I'm just really interested in getting to know who I am, basically. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Diana. Yes,
and also I love your vibe, Antonia. You're just so, I don't know, it's just always such a positive feeling, when I've seen you.
That's really, thank you so much, Diana. And you're probably the person I've known here the longest, because that was way back at the beginning of 2022. So I didn't meet everyone till after that. So you're the the oldest friend here, which is really lovely.
Probably and in age as well.
No. Does anyone else want to? Oh, Hayley, yes.
Hi, I'm Hayley. I'm based in the New Forest in Hampshire, and I'm a kinesiologist. And I'm just here because I was drawn to I follow your posts and blogs, Antonia, and I saw this. I thought, oh, I'd love to find out more. So that's why I'm here.
Perfect. Okay, that's so lovely. So I think Catherine has got a handyman here. So it's kind of like we're all here with the same intention, because I find that whenever I do any kind of work, and this is the same thing, everything gets mirrored straight back to me. So this is going to be very opening and eye-opening and healing for me too, to do this, because my big goal is to come out of hiding and to show myself in my true authenticity with a lot of love and learn more about myself. And it sounds like you guys are in exactly the same position. So the perfect group. I'm really, really happy that you're all here. This is wonderful. So we're just going to do a tiny bit of grounding just to connect ourselves to this moment. So I just want you to pop your feet on the ground if you can and shut your eyes. And I want you to connect your heart center and just to keep taking some lovely deep breaths in through your nose. And if you can, out through your mouth to connect into your body. I just want you to envisage a beautiful ball of light in the center of your heart. And as you breathe, I want you to visualize and feel it expanding. With every breath in and every breath out, that ball of light is growing. And it's growing, it's up, it's going past your throat chakra, past your solar plexus. It's growing up into your third eye, down to your sacral. That ball of light is expanding and growing with every breath in and every breath out, till it encompasses your crown chakra and your root chakra. It goes even further above your head, below your feet. So you are just one big ball of light. And just keep that feeling, keep that breathing, pulsing, vibrant, beautiful, light energy in and around your body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And there's this really lovely meditation that this is part of called the Unified Chakra Meditation that some of you know. And if you don't, just let me know and I will email it to you. It's really, really beautiful. It really connects and calms and grounds you. And Kathy, I did it on you a few days ago. And it just brings you into this great state of relaxation, unlike anything else. And I'm not very good at meditating, but I find this to be very, very powerful. So, okay, we're now in this space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And let me see. Can you guys see that okay? Is it big enough? I don't need to do it on full presenter mode because that's sometimes I find it's too big. I think that's fine. I think you guys could see that. Or hang on a sec, let me just experiment. Oh, that's really big. Maybe it's too big. No, we're going to do this. I've changed my mind. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a few different things, and we're really going to go with the flow because it's a really lovely small group of us. So it's really, really flexible. And at any point, if you have a thought, comment, question, idea, just unmute yourselves and just butt straight on in, okay? Don't hold back because I can't see all of you in my screen. So if you wave, I can't see you. So just just butt in. I give you permission. So we're going to talk about fear, confidence, and potential, because really all of these things are all linked together. And it's often a barrier of fear that stops us from really connecting to our potential and our confidence. And it's when we break through the emotional programming that we can come more into our confidence and courage, which is what my goal is for myself, it's for my clients, and it's a goal for all of you as well, I'm sure. You know, Melissa, if I had that confidence and courage, yes, I could build that website. Yes, I could go out there with the work that I'm passionate about, that I love to do. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the energies in our soul contract create our reality, and that limit our potential, and that create fear in us. And I know that so many of you are very familiar with the soul contract work because you've had readings, you've trained in it. But we're going to go into it again because I find that sometimes we just need to learn things many, many times over from different perspectives to really get a deeper understanding. So if anyone feels brave, I'd love to do a demo reading on someone if they feel like it calls to them. It'll only be about 5-10 minutes. Melissa, I saw your hand. Yes, so we can look at that because I actually felt that when I saw you. I was like, let's go into your chart and just see what energies are there. And then I'm going to do a few processes on what I use for myself to clear my fears, to clear my self-sabotages, and to clear any main low frequency programs that are blocking my courage and confidence from coming through. And it's when we're in that state of courage and confidence that we can access our potential. And I don't know if some of you know the David Hawkins scale of consciousness. It's this really lovely, based on kinesiology and muscle testing, understanding of the different levels of consciousness. So we're moving out of fear fear and shame is right on the bottom. And often we don't realize it, but shame is very hidden within us. And we can feel very shameful about who we truly are, but we're not really conscious of it. And that shame is a block for us. And then we're going to do some divine healing, and we're going to go into some of our own programming. So it's going to be very personal and very individual, that one. But we'll do it as a group, and I'm sure all the things will be quite similar. So what blocks our confidence and limits our expansion? It's either a program or it's a belief. And I've picked some of my favorite ones. And maybe you resonate with these. I'm not good enough. I'll never be as good as them. I'm too scared to try. What will people think? And I don't belong here. So this is unworthiness. I'm not good enough. Comparison. I'll never be as good as them. I'm too scared to try. Fear. What will people think? Fear of judgment, fear of ostracization. I can't say that word. Fear of abandonment, which is a core wound. I don't belong here. Unworthiness. So they can feel very, very strong. And these are very, very, very big ones, deeply rooted in a lot of us. And the consequences of these is our behavior. So I'm not good enough often leads to procrastination. What I call fear and freeze, like fear and freeze, and self-sabotage. And we have a chart in Divine Healing, which is all about overcoming self-sabotage. And it's amazing when I do it on myself and something comes up and I'm like, I don't do that. I don't sabotage my well-being or sabotage my growth, but I do. The more I sit with it, the more I look at it, the more I recognize it. And often we beat ourselves up when we procrastinate. And that leads us into a spiral of shame. I should be doing more. I should be better. But procrastination is just to do with fear. That's all it is. And there is no shame around having fear. It's part of the human experience. But the more we recognize that fear, the more we can come out of procrastination. Because there are two things that fear hates. It hates awareness and it hates action. So the two things that we really use to defeat fear are sharing, bringing it up into the light of awareness out of the darkness of our minds, sharing it with someone, You know, it could be a stranger, it could be your best friend, your mum, being like, oh my God, I have this fear. One, you've tackled it. The second way to tackle it is to take a teeny tiny action against it. Might be making a list. It might be making a phone call. It might be writing something down. And you have started to climb the mountain of fear, and that's all it takes. I'll never be as good as them. So when we feel like this, we compare ourselves to others. And I'm sure you guys do this. I definitely do this. You look at other people and think, God, aren't they doing well? Aren't they so successful? I'll never be like that. And it can again spiral us into not remembering and recognizing our unique worth, our unique value, and our unique beauty. So it's pulling us away from that. And it's all about coming back to that, coming back to, well, I am just on my own unique path, and it's not, and it's never going to look like anyone else's. It's a really tough one to come out of comparison, and I write about it a lot on my blog because I suffer from it, hands up. And I think a lot of other people do as well. So I don't feel too bad about it. So another program for relief, I'm too scared to try. So we default give our power away to other people to do it instead of us. That is pure disempowerment. That is pure 9 energy in the soul contract. I can't do it, so I better give my power away for someone else to do it for me. So that's an obvious one there. And then what will people think? Oh my gosh. This is a really subtle one. As human beings, we're sort of genetically encoded to stick with the pack, stick with the herd. We don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to feel unsafe. We want to feel connected in a community. And when we do something that goes against the standards or the way of society or our family values, God families, oof, they can be very controlling. We have a lot of fear of judgment. And that can lead to a lot of overwhelm. I have to get it right. If I do it, I have to get it right. It has to be perfect. And if you've got a 10-1 in your soul contract, that is the perfectionism energy. Listen. So we give too much to something because we have to prove it to other people instead of just letting it be what it is. And then I don't belong here. This is a very deep one. And I cleared something around this the other day. This is like, I don't fit in. I've been abandoned here. I'm left here to suffer. And I want to hide from the world. And I want to isolate myself. And this is a very core wound in a lot of people. It's the abandonment wound, which we'll talk about in a minute. So maybe some of those resonate. As I said, they're very deep. I see you laughing. They're very deep. And of course, you know, everything's very layered, so we might not always feel them, but they're under the surface, or they might look a bit different. So I want you to feel into what program or belief is currently stuck in your energy field, in your mind, or something that is repeating in your life, something that is a belief that you just can't get rid of, like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do that thing, X, whatever it is. Or I wish I could do this, but I don't feel confident enough. Or I have a fear around. My one, for example, is I have a fear of being seen. I have a fear of people judging me and being seen. So that's a really deep program for me. Going deeper than that, it's what if people see me and they don't like me? Oh my God, so it's a real worthiness one. Am I good enough? That's it. Am I good enough? Am I actually helping people? Am I capable of doing that? So just feel into something. It could be a little bit lighter than that. It could be a little bit deeper. Whatever you feel is just on the surface, like a belief that you have about yourself, or a program that seems to be running. And if anyone needs any help, has everyone got one got an idea? If you haven't, just shout. And it might be a really long one, convoluted one. Might be one that has many layers and things coming off it, like a spider. Okay, so I think everyone's got one. If you want to carry on writing, feel free. So where do these programs and beliefs come from? So this is what we work on in divine healing. We work on all of these. We're going to talk about this one in a minute. So as I said, we're all onions at our core, and this is the center of us. And we have all these different layers. Someone once described it as layers of clothing. So you're a perfect human being, and you put on all these layers of clothing, which are your beliefs and your values and things that you learn about yourself from your parents, from the world, until you can't recognize yourself as the perfection of spirit that you are. And this is what we all come to Earth to experience. We come to Earth in this sort of third dimensional reality, which is sticky and dense. And we're always coming back to the 12th dimension, which is love, which is pure source energy. But to get to that place, we need to really recognize who we truly are. And this is what we call the game of separation. This is what we're engaged in. It's like the Matrix. We're in the game of separation of life until we remember who we truly are. So programs and beliefs that feel stuck in our energy fields, that feel like they're in control of our lives, come from past lives. They come from our ancestral lineage, things down the line, mum's side, dad's side. Multi-dimensional realities, there's different versions of you existing in different planes, different dimensions, different realities. We live in a multi-dimensional universe. Parental imprints. So Hayley, you might remember Claire in kinesiology when she was talking about how vulnerable we are at the ages between 0 and 7. I think it was 0 and 3 we learn a lot. 3 and 7 we learn a hell of a lot, and then I think it's 7 and 14, I can't quite remember, or 7 and 12. It's the final layer of learning. So we are very imprinted from everyone around us all the time. And my gosh, do those imprints sink deep. I feel like a lot of those layers are from there. Not just our parents, our families, our friends, society programming. And then more genetic DNA inheritance programs. And soul contract energy. So I'll talk about soul contracts in a minute. But this is really where the majority of our programs and beliefs come from. And it's frustrating because you think, well, why do I have this? Well, you have a big backstory. It sits in the Akashic records. So at the end of the day, these emotional blockages coming from these programs and beliefs really steal our life force, our life energy. So this is my little diagram. This is the flow of your life force energy moving continually forwards. And then we have a fear or a block or a belief or an anger or a grief that comes in, and it stunts us, it stunts our growth. And we're here to move through them and to carry on living and fully engage with our soul contract, fully engage with our soul destiny, fully discover our purpose here. And I say purpose, I mean multiple purposes. We're here for many different reasons. So when we have these emotional blockages coming in, stunting our growth, this is what we end up with. A decreased life force, low energy in our bodies, pain, stress, and limitation. And we can't reach that potential that we know is very deep down buried within us. We just can't quite access it. It's there, but it's just out of reach. So I spoke earlier about the 3 primary separation programs. As I said, we're engaged in the game of separation. This is our, and I took Kathy through a bit of a process. We had a light body session, Light body is all about activating and awakening to who you truly are, and disengaging from the game of separation, which is like coming out of the matrix. And these separation programs are very deep within all of us, and these are the main three. I've been abandoned by God. When I say God, not in a religious sense, or the universe or source energy. I've been abandoned here to suffer. Life is painful and hard, and this is a deep wound. We all deep down really fear abandonment. Unworthy. I'm not worthy to be loved. This was my one, because this was playing out in my romantic relationships. I'm not worthy for a relationship. I'm not worthy to have a boyfriend. 26 years old, I was like, oh my God, there's something seriously wrong with me. Nope, I just had a very deep belief of being completely unworthy of love. And I don't know where it came from. I definitely didn't come from my family. I think it was just a very, very deep one. And I have 5s in my soul contract, and 5s, if you have them in there, it might be a 14-5 or a 5-5. I said this to Emma the other day. People with 5s in their soul contract are here to heal past lives. They are the historians of the soul contract system. They are here to bring up all of the junk and the skunk and the gross stuff of all of the other realities and lives and heal and clear it. And 5s are very sensitive souls. So if you've got 5s in your soul contract, I think a lot of people here do. It might be that life feels quite sticky because you're here to heal and clear a lot of that stickiness. And it's a very powerful path, I think. And then the last one, mistrust. Mistrust of God. I don't trust anything. And this is a little bit of an interesting one. So I'm going to go to the next slide and explain how this plays out. So mistrust of God and the universe, we avoid our spiritual growth because we don't really trust why we're here. We don't really trust the whole point. Yeah. And if you've got a 16-7 in your soul contract, I have it in my common name and my karma. This is quite a karmic energy, the 16, and it's all about really overcoming this lack of belief in spirit. And the other one that might feel quite challenging is if you have a 21-3, it's a very challenging energy. You're really here to work through big, hard challenges in your life and come through to the lovely 22-4, which is the final number in the soul contract system. So yeah, mistrust, we avoid our spiritual growth, and we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust spirit, we don't trust God, we don't trust ourselves, and we don't trust our abilities. And that is blocking for our potential. We don't trust in anything. It's a very alienating feeling. Then to go backwards, you know, when we feel abandoned, it's very easy to judge ourselves, to feel bad about it, and to stay in a place of suffering because we believe that. But it's not true. Programs and beliefs are just that, beliefs. They're not truth. But we are so convinced that they are because they are iron strong within us. And they've been there for so many years, so many lives, that we think they're truth. And really what we're here to do is to heal the unworthiness so we don't feel abandoned, and so we fall back into trust. And this is all about owning that feeling and bringing consciousness to the program and getting to the root of it, which is strongly engaging in it. The ego does not want to look at the hard stuff. It will do anything it can to avoid looking at the stuff it doesn't like. It will do everything it can, hence why we self-sabotage, hence why we procrastinate. We'll do anything but look at the fear. We'll do anything but look at our own shortcomings. They're not shortcomings. And our goal in this lifetime is to transcend the ego, to break through the unconsciousness of the ego and reconnect to our soul. But the ego will try very hard to stop us, which is why healing is so uncomfortable and why so few people really want to get into it. I don't blame them. Okay. So the cycle of negative experiences, negative emotional experiences. I drew this diagram because this is how I see it. So we have a negative experience. Maybe we were bullied at school. And then we then react to that. We don't respond because we're not emotionally intelligent enough at this stage. So we react from our ego self. Fear, stress, anger, grief, pain. And that then carries a vibration that we send out into the universe. Out it goes. And what do you know? That then attracts a similar negative experience straight back to us. And so the cycle goes on and on and on. And this is the point of healing, where we move from reaction to response. And from that place of clarity, stillness, and responsiveness, we completely change the emotional vibration from fear, anger, and stress into compassion, self-compassion, the massive one, love, understanding. And that completely changes the energy that goes outwards. And it doesn't attract that negative experience back to us in another form. So my one, for example, was being overly dominated by strong females. Because I have a lack of boundaries, and I've got 5s which have a real trouble asserting themselves. So this was at school, this was someone who I worked with, a few friends that I had. And until I had real compassion and understanding for myself through my soul contract, I got 5s and 8s, no wonder I'm so sensitive. Then I was able to change that. So, break the cycle. As I just said, we are here to break the cycle. This is what healing work does. It goes in there and it just cuts this up, cuts it up like a rug. And we just get in there. It's disrupting. It's disruptive what we're doing. It's powerful and disruptive and beautiful. What I call, we are mamboing the matrix here. So what are the requirements for healing? And also when I say healing, you're already healed, you're already whole, you're already perfect. If you remember the person with all the clothes over them, you're merely removing layers of clothing and coming back to a remembering. So it's not healing, it's more like clearing, awakening back to who you truly are, getting rid of the layers, or the rubbish, get it off. I've written about this before, and I know it's ironic because I put the word healing in here, but you don't need to heal, you just need to remember, and you just need to reprogram. That's all it is. So what do we need? We need willingness, desire, and courage. You guys have all shown up here today. You already do all the work, because I know all of you. You all have that willingness, desire, and courage. And that is a beautiful thing, and I want you to be really proud of yourselves. And I'm going to feel really proud of myself as well. The second thing is we want to identify the issue. What is the program? What is the belief? What's really going on? And then we want to bring feeling and consciousness to it. Because what we feel, we can heal. The ego doesn't want to feel it because it's painful. But if we go there and we feel it, we don't have to stay in that pain. We just have to touch it, acknowledge it, be grateful for it. Thank you for what you've shown me. And then pull ourselves out into the light. So that is the requirements. So as I said, when we allow ourselves to feel energy shifts, we literally change our energy fields. And all we have to do is come into a place of allowing and moving the blocked energy. When we feel stuck in fear and procrastination and fear of unworthiness, everything becomes stagnated in our lives. I don't know if you've experienced this. It's like we can't move forwards. And if you've got 7s in your soul contract, it might be that you literally can't move forwards in your life because something's always holding you back. And it's a very visceral energy, like nothing's working in my life. It's because there's a deeper emotion going on that is causing this fear, and it's blocking your energy, and it's blocking all the energy fields around you. So in divine healing, we quite literally, or even without divine healing, in your everyday life, you ask. It is ask and you receive. You ask for support, you ask for help, you ask for guidance. And you wait and you trust. And trust can be hard if you've got falls in your soul contract. But you always lean back and you trust and you ask. And you release and you let go and you shift. It's energy healing. And it's very powerful. So, we also get a lot of programs and beliefs from our soul contract, and we're here to transcend them and work through them. Your soul contract is not set in stone. It's not an iron lock of who you can and can't be. It is merely a guide, and we can embrace all parts of it if we choose to. So, I think all of you pretty much know about the soul contract. Hayley, do you know about soul contracts? No. I'm going to do a really brief summary because some people watching this might not know either. This is my soul contract. So basically, when your soul incarnated, it chose to have a set of experiences to have in this lifetime in order to continue its evolution back to source, back to love, back to universal energy. You know, we also made agreements of the people we'd hang out with. You know, everything's been predetermined. We have free will. We always have free will, but the soul pull can be very strong. And the way that we create your soul contract is through your name written on your birth certificate, because the sound of your name creates the sound of your name creates the energies of your lifetime, because sound is energy, it's a frequency, it's a vibration. So your name literally creates your reality. We're working in the energy field with this. So it's not like normal numerology, it's a little bit different. And we use this beautiful ancient Hebrew alphabet, and we translate your name into it, and then we map it onto here, and each letter corresponds to a number. And so you end up with these numbers, and we have 1 to 22 different numbers that we can have in here. So some are doubles and some are different numbers. So 12-3 is like 1 + 2 = 3. You don't need to get into the details, but essentially you've got a few different energies in your soul contract. So you've got your karma. You'll notice there's 2 triangles, your physical and your spiritual. And what happens is during your life, your physical chart, this is time, your physical chart is pretty strong, taking up most of the energy. And it gradually decreases as your spiritual chart comes online. And normally for people, this is like in your mid-30s, but it's really dependent. And I also think that we're really playing with the energies our whole lives, no matter whether it's in the physical or the spiritual part of your triangle. So we have our karma, which is what we find challenging. Hello, I have hard to speak up for myself and hard to create boundaries, being overly empathetic. But karma also contains the seed of our potential. And 5s are pioneering. They're very ethereal, they're psychic, and 8s can be really good with people and really empathetic in a really good way. Then we have our talents. And talents are what we're really good at. This is where our potential sits. What are we good at? 7s like to network, and 12-3s like to teach. And of course, there's a lot of more depth into each number, but this is a summary. And then physical goals, what you're really here to do, what your soul really wants you to do. And they can be quite broad. I'm here to network again. I'm here to catalyze people. That's another energy of the 7. And I'm here to step back into my power, which is the 9. And your soul destiny, I feel, is just an amalgamation of all the different numbers feeds into it. So our potential sits in our soul contract as well as our challenges. So, Melissa, shall we have a quick look at your chart? I just need your birth certificate name, if you're happy to give that to me. And I'll just have a quick
Sure.
look and see what's going on.
It's Melissa, 1L, 2 S's,
Yeah,
and then Catherine with a C.
like that.
Yes.
Perfect.
And then my maiden name is Salmonen. It's Salminen.
Perfect. Okay, so let's just see that this looks like your chart. Okay. So is there one thing that you feel like you struggle with? I think what you said at the beginning of actually getting out there and doing what you really want to do with the soul contract work.
Yes, I feel like I'm being held back, and so many things came to me. Such a beautiful presentation, by the way. So many things resonated with me. Trust is a big one. You know,
Yeah.
trusting others, trusting myself. And I feel like when people make comments that they really resonate with me more than, you know, I think they would resonate with other people. A lot of people just, you know, brush it off, where I feel like a lot of it really resonates with me. And then I recheck myself. I feel like it's definitely been something from grade school, you know, till now. I love networking though. I love meeting people. I'm very empathic. But just being that perfectionist that I kind of come in with, being a Virgo as well, I feel like it definitely is like a chain with a ball.
Yeah. So interesting. You know, I know you've done this work, but everything you say resonates in your chart. That perfectionist energy sits in your 10-1, and 10-1s, for people who don't know it, it's all about the masculine. And it's all about overcoming self-criticism and coming into self-compassion. And 10-1s will be very studious and hardworking. It has to be right. And sometimes there's normally something going on with the masculine, with the father, or with men, that can be quite damaging for our self-esteem. You know, you're also super sensitive. Hey, you got 5s and 8s like me. So these numbers are so empathic, empathetic. I didn't say that right again. 5s can feel everything, 8s can feel everything. And it's a psychic energy, but we can be in our heads all the time with 5s and 8s. So this is why our ego can run away with us. And instead of grounding, the 8s need a lot of grounding. We really need to feel our stuff. So the 5s want to think about our stuff, and the 8s want to block our stuff out. So yeah, grounding for you, grounding for me as well, because I've got 8s, is really important, because then we come more into our body and we learn that our body is a vessel for us to do this work. And quite often in spiritual circles, we forget about our body. We're all about the soul, the spirit, and our body is the vessel that we can do everything in our life. We must treat it reverently. So yeah, networking energy, that's coming into the 7s, but the 7s have to be in control. 7s get very scared of being out of control. And I'm sure you remember, 7s can have a broken heart. So they don't feel safe to show themselves fully out into the world. And with the 5s, along with that, we can manifest people that take advantage of our good nature and making us feel even more unsafe to show ourselves out to the world. You know, but it's a beautiful energy when you really connect with that 7 energy. You're here to really catalyze people and help them. And, you know, your potential is really sitting in your 4s. The more you share yourself and your beauty and your magnificence, the more people will respond to that and bring back the same to you. But that's the lack of trust with the 4. And you're trying to figure out how to do it. Well, how can I do it? You know, you mentioned the website. How is it going to work? In the 11-2s can really struggle with structure. Like, how am I going to do this? And the 2s can be very sensitive as well. So lots of beautiful, sensitive, but powerful energies in your chart. And, you know, hello, soul destiny of 9-9s. You're fully here to step into your power and come into full soul consciousness. So whether you like it or not, you're on a pretty strong healing journey. Very strong. you know, and it's really easy to focus on the challenges in our soul contract, but we want to look at the potential as well. So the potential is, you know, bringing in these strong godlike energies and creating a stable platform for people to really feel our integrity and our service to others. You're here to be of service. You're here to speak up for yourself, for others. You're here to be a pioneer in the work that you do and use your psychic abilities and share them with the world. You know, you're here to relate to a lot of people. When you have 7s and 8s in your chart, you're here to connect with society and really share your beautiful truth, which is the 5. And yeah, and the 4, you're here to share, and you're here to trust and reconnect to that worthiness to be loved by God, which the 4s can often feel, well, I'm not worthy of abundance. I'm not worthy of love. It can be a really deep one. And then the 7's here to catalyze people. It's a transformative master number, a huge amount of strength in that. The more you come back into your authenticity, and you do that through healing the heart, the more those people will flock to you like a magnet. And then you're here to create your own structure of truth based on your own core values and bring full soul consciousness to them and step back into your power, which is your rightful place. And I know you already know all of that. But so everyone can see, your soul contract holds a huge amount of challenges and a huge amount of potential. And every number is like a seesaw. And you have the negative expression of the number and the positive. We're always trying to shift it into the positive. So we have recommendations that we suggest. And a lot of it is just healing, actually. Awakening back to yourself. So I hope that was helpful. And because yeah.
Yeah, it's very helpful. It's just, you know, it's that holding back. And I is, you know, you mentioned stuff about just never being good enough, and maybe because maybe being abandoned in a past life, and or abandoned by source, right? Especially I feel like that in my early years.
And was that reflected in your reality as well? Yeah. And those are very formative experiences in our childhood, 0 to 7, 0 to 13 years old, that have such a big impact on us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel for you is you just need to treat yourself with so much love and compassion. That's really your primary goal. So I think by shifting that and coming into a lot of compassion for the beautiful journey that you're on, these will feel a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
You need to just tell yourself that you're just doing the best that you know how to do in this moment. That's all you can do.
Right. That's why, you know, moving forward, because I feel like this is something I really enjoy doing, and I love talking with others and helping people kind of move through blocks themselves. And then I feel like if I have my own blocks, how do I help others? You know, it's almost like, you know, the cobbler's children don't have their own shoes, right?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, this comes up a lot. This is my favorite thing to say to you, and I'll say it to everyone. You can be a work in progress and help people at the same time. That is quite literally your key to freedom with this.
Okay.
And this is for anyone who does work with others, because, oh my God, do you think I've still got stuff? I've got a lifetime of stuff to work on. As I said, comparison, fear of being seen, self-worth, really chunky, meaty programs. Yet, I also believe in my innate ability to help others at the same time. And my gosh, I could not help a single soul if I had not gone through it myself.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you're doing it, and then you're a few steps ahead, and you're basically guiding people along the path behind you. And as you do it, you are in your full integrity, which is a 10-1 energy. You're being a pioneer. You're showing people the way. You're relating with people with 8 energy. You're trusting that people will follow you. You're catalyzing them. You're creating your own way of doing it. Coming back into your power by you doing that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Oh, I had to do all of that too when I started doing kinesiology. I was like, I am a fraud. I don't know anything.
Can I say something,
Yeah.
Antonia? I just wanted to say to Melissa, as somebody who's never met you, your energy and the way you appear, I think you'll really pull people to you. You've got something very, I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, you've got something that really draws people in. You've got a very beautiful, angelic energy. Just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's lovely, Emma. And you know what? I would add to that is that you will likely work with people with the same energies in your soul contract. Because I've got 5s and 8s and 9s and 7s, and you turned up because we're a resonance. And so you'll be so perfectly served to help those people. You know, and even if you don't work in the healing industry, whatever you do in your life, you'll attract people with the same resonance because they'll be a mirror to you.
Yeah, I did notice that because I homeschooled my boys, and I definitely have to say, like, my friends are my homeschool moms that we did this journey together with, and it's crazy that you're right. I feel like there were so many people in our co-op, but there was just so many people that just kind of magnetically connected, and we're still friends now that our kids are even older teens. So that's really cool that you said that. Thank you. And thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Emma. Thank you for Melissa for showing us and sharing everything with us. It's lovely and so helpful for everyone to see. So I really appreciate that. So what we're going to come to now is we're going to change the energy. What I spoke about earlier, this little negative cycle that spins us, and we can go round and round and round into a spiral of looping and negative thinking. We're going to come in and share a couple of ways to break that cycle so we can emit a completely different frequency to go out into the universe, which can then change our reality. So this is my DIY processes. So I'm going to do a couple of different exercises, and then I'm going to do some divine healing. We've got half an hour, so the timing is perfect. And this is something I do on myself, so I wouldn't share anything that I don't do on myself. And maybe you already know these and you do these too. And for anyone watching who might not know this. So the what if exercise. So often when we are in a place of fear or struggle or stress, we automatically default to the worst. What if that happens? What if that happens? It's our mind and our ego trying to control the situation. So it casts out a net and says, well, what are all the possible eventualities that might happen? And how can I protect myself? And if you've got overthinking 5s, ungrounded 8s, or controlling 7s, this will be for you, Melissa. And a few other people have those energies here as well. So we need to just disrupt that way of thinking. So I want you now to think about something that you'd love to happen in your life. It can be really small, or it can be a little bit bigger. So mine is, I want to grow a YouTube channel. That's my goal. So just you can write down something. It could be as simple as I want to start something, or I want to build something, or I want to try something new. Can be really, really basic. It could just be like, God, I just want to be able to wear the color yellow. I don't wear yellow because it does not suit my skin tone. So has everyone got a little something written down? Yes, perfect. If you don't, you can always come back to this later. So, we said earlier, I wanted you to write down a program or a belief that you had that you felt was blocking you and getting in your way. I want you to come back to it. And I want you to bring it into your mind. You can shut your eyes when you do this. And I want you to notice how it feels in your body, this belief. We're going to we're going to get the ego to look at the thing it doesn't want to look at. So it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. And it's okay if it does. We're in a very safe place. So just notice it might feel a little heavy, a little sticky, a little uncomfortable in your body. It's really, really normal, but just feeling the program or just touching upon it. And now I want you to write down something that your brain automatically goes to, a negative what if. So think about your thing that you want to happen. And I want you to write down the negative. I know it sounds really negative to do this, but there is a reason for it. So write down the negative. Mine is, what if no one watches my videos? Or even worse, what if people watch them and think they're rubbish? What if people watch them and comment on them horrible things? That's actually a really big fear. Just write down that natural what if that pops into your head. You might even have more than one. What if I fail? What if no one likes it? What if I can't do it? What if it's all just a waste of time? God, what if everyone sees me? What if my family say something? Yeah, Emma, family. That old chestnut. We love them, but we recognize their role in our creation. So has everyone got a what if? A negative what if? Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to just notice how that feels. That negative program, that negative what if statement. Just notice how that feels. So for me, God, what if people say horrible things in the comments? It brings up this immediate spike of, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. It's like a fear. It's like a sickness. I feel a bit ill thinking about it, actually. And I want you now to write down the very opposite thing. So if you put what if, for example, I've put what if people judge me and write mean things, I'm going to change it to, God, what if everyone loves it? What if people write really nice comments? What if loads of people see my channel? What if I get hundreds of people saying lovely things? What if I help someone and they feel better for watching something? And you can write down more than one, you know, if you have more than one coming up. I want you to breathe that energy in. God, what if? What if that lands really well? What if I meet loads of cool, interesting people? What if I have fun? Oh my gosh, what if I enjoy myself? What if I make money from doing this thing? What if I make new friends? What if I have the most surprising and enjoyable process in this whole thing? What if I get the gift of learning? As you can see, there's so many options when we expand our mind and break through the negative circle. And I want you to notice how that what if feels. How does the positive what if feels? Does it feel better? Does it feel more expansive? Yes, Emily's nodding. Does it feel lighter, more joyful, more harmonious? Does it sing? So this is the power of a such a simple exercise. And all you have to do is you have to catch yourself when you're stuck in the spiral of what ifs. And you have to say, oh, hang on, I'm going to reverse that. And it takes a bit of practice, but you can do it. What if? Okay. So because of time, I'm going to move on to the next one. This is very, very similar. I actually just did a video about this because this is my favorite. And I think I made this up, but I'm sure there'll be people out there who have also been doing this. So I call this reverse psychology. And it came to me when I was having a bit of a meltdown. And I decided to just completely change the words that I was saying. And I might have still been crying and very stressed, but I completely changed the words. And I just found it so ridiculous that I just laughed, and everything just completely changed. So go back to that program or belief that you originally wrote down. Just enter back into it. I don't feel good enough to, I'm scared of, I feel abandoned to, whatever it is. And I want you to write down a thought that you have about it, like a statement. I'm so frustrated by this situation. I'm struggling to know what to do. I'm lost and alone. Who can help? These are just some examples. No one will ever love me. I'm never going to be able to do it. I feel so angry. I'm so stressed about this, whatever it might be. And remember, we're bringing consciousness to the ego program. It doesn't want to do it, so it may feel uncomfortable. So just be gentle with yourself. So when you have that statement, just notice how it feels. It can feel pretty negative, pretty fearful, pretty stressful. And what we're going to do now is we're going to reverse psychology it, and we're going to find the opposite. We're going to create some crazy tension in this statement that's going to feel completely at odds with how it feels. So for example, I want you to find the opposite. So I put the example in, I'm so frustrated by my situation. I'm going to put the opposite in. I'm so excited by my situation. What a freaking gift this is. I am learning about myself on such a deep level. This is a magnificent experience of earthly life. Aren't I lucky? That was a long one. I'm struggling to know what to do. God, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to do. The answer is so clear. It's so easy. Why didn't I think of this before? I feel so sad about this. I feel so happy about this because now I have awareness and I can change it. I feel really lost and unsupported. I know my way and I'm unconditionally supported at all times. And when I find this the most powerful is when I'm sat there sort of crying to myself, being like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed. And then I go, I'm so overjoyed. And I say it with the same energy. And I'm just like, this sounds so ridiculous. I can't help but laugh because it's just so at odds. And again, we're confusing the ego. We're mamboing through the programming. We're confusing and distorting and disrupting. And this is just a little exercise to do that. And I love it. And just notice how it feels when you reverse psychology, the word, and you put in a completely different statement. You can feel your energy shifting. I don't know if you guys felt that, but it's when you do it on yourself in the moment, I promise you, when you're really feeling low and you do this, it's a humdinger. It's a humdinger of a process, and I love it. So a couple of things for your tool belt. And I want to do some divine healing briefly. This is kind of like divine healing because I'm getting you to feel programming. But I opened the space up specially so we could work on a program together. And I don't know what it's going to be yet. So this is going to be our third exercise. And I'm really impressed that we're doing okay for time. So divine healing goes in and clears out these programs, whether they're from past lives, ancestral lives, other realities, parents, genetic programs, soul contract programs, society programming. It just goes in there and it yoinks them out. And I love it because I do a lot of it on myself as well as other people. And what it is a multidimensional system of healing to clear the emotional subconscious blocks. And some of the things we work on, which I absolutely love, are these beauties down here. We do a lot of physical and energetic work in divine healing, but this is what I love. Judgments of self, trauma. We have huge trauma release charts. Self-sabotages, they're sneaky and potent. Attachments and addictions. We may not think we have addictions, but we all do. And they are so multi-layered, the reasons behind them. I remember clearing an addiction to watching too much Netflix, and the cause of it was very surprising. It was all to do with a fear of lack, like a fear of me lacking. So I watched TV to distract myself from the program. Soul level programming, again, very deep. Hidden ego agendas, my favorite one, because they are hidden so deep within us, and everyone has many of them. Key conflicts. These are when you want to be happy, but you're not happy. You want to live with joy, but you're not living with joy. It's like a massive tension within your being and bodies of what you want and what you're receiving. And there's something that's blocking that. Low frequency energies and programs, we all have a lot of these, and interference. Interference from negative energies that come in and disrupt us. There's lots we can't see out there. Fears, of course, we all have these, and blocks to positive living that we're just not aware of there, but they're there in our energy fields. And then lots of lovely energy work like meridian chakras and chi energy. So this is basically divine healing. So what I want to do is just show you quickly the effect of divine healing. So this is where your ego goes. Suffering, abandonment, unworthiness, lack. I stole this diagram from Nicholas, who I work for, who runs the Soul Contract and Divine Healing trainings, because I love it so much. And this is following the flow of our spirit and our soul. Much higher frequency, much more loving. And divine healing basically brings us out of ego and suffering and into the path of our spiritual signature, which is leaning back and letting life flow, going downstream, not clinging onto the banks, screaming, thrashing, kicking through the fear of the unknown. So yeah, it's really beautiful, divine healing. And basically what it does is it clears our emotional blocks and frees up our life force. So we have more energy, more freedom, more consciousness, more self-awareness, more empowerment. The more you know yourself, the more gracefully you can slide and slip and enjoy your life. Slide and slip. Slide gracefully through life. That's what I meant to say. That came out dodgy and wrong. Slip through life. Okay, right, so let's do some divine healing. So what I want you to do, and I don't know what we're going to do, but we've got 10 minutes, so I want to give you guys a taster. And I know some of you have had it before, so I just want you to shut your eyes and come into your bodies, feet on the floor, and grounding deep breaths. And I'm going to encourage you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Or you can breathe in and out of your mouth, actually. Change that. Because when you breathe through your mouth, you are connecting to the feelings in your body, the energy fields. And I already opened today. So what I'm feeling is we're going to do a main low frequency program, because this is basically what we've been talking about today. And healing is all about bringing consciousness to the programming that we have. So what I want you to do, I want you to bring it back into the light. This program, this belief you hold about yourself, about the world you live in, about your reality. What is it? How is it conditioning your life? How is it narrowing, restricting, and limiting you? Feel into the story. What's the story behind it? And just take your time. Keep breathing in and out through your mouth. How is this program or this belief operating into your life? How is it obstructing? How is it limiting? How is it causing chaos? And I want you to feel it. And I want you to notice any emotions and feelings that are coming up, because they are ready to come up. And if you feel any judgment around having these emotions, this is just your ego. And that's okay. We want to release any self-judgment because judgment keeps our programming in place. So keep connecting to the energy, the feelings and the emotions. And I want you to notice where you feel them in your body. Where is this program or this belief being held? Is it everywhere? Is it in one part of your body? Is there a pulsing or an energy or a sensation or a tension somewhere? Where is it making itself known? And I want you to let yourself be really open to all aspects of this feeling that's coming up for you, this emotion, these feelings. Notice any attachment you have to it, how it might serve you. Maybe feelings of being bad for having it, any judgment around it. Because the more you can open to it, the more you can integrate and clear it. So just reassure yourself it's safe to go deep. It's safe to feel. You're all doing beautifully. You're completely held, Catherine. Completely held here, okay? It can be very painful when these things come up to the surface. And just know that you are transmuting them at all times. And if they're coming up, they're ready to be seen and they're ready to come through. And what I'm going to do is a little integration because this feels like quite a heavy one for everyone. And I'm going to use a zap code, which are like little codes that we use to clear. And this one is to release protection systems within the body so we can feel really numbed out to things. And when programs aren't shifting, it's because of the ego protecting itself. It's like our destructive beliefs and painful memories and traumas are energetically sealed off. So we really want to be clearing these so they don't affect us in other energy bodies. Healing team, I command that all protective seals are now broken down and a full detoxification and healing process be set in motion in the order and timing that the soul directs, safely, gracefully, gently, and easily. I command that the lymphatic system, the biochemical system, and other support systems are brought up to 100% functioning to deal with this with the appropriate water, oxygen, and nutrients being sent to each site as required to rejuvenate and regenerate on every level. Thank you. And there's one more we're going to do. So to balance the brain waves, promote relaxation. Healing team, I command the opening of neural pathways to develop profound states of relaxation and serenity, to increase and expand ease and flow between beta, alpha, delta, and theta brainwaves, and a deepening experience of meditative states, and the ability to connect with spirit and higher beings. Thank you. And now we're going to, it's ready now, it wasn't ready before, but we're going to burn through this program, burn through a layer of it at least. What I want you to do is I want you to all put yourselves, I think you're all on mute. Yeah. I'm going to get you to repeat after me because it's really powerful when you say it out loud. And I want you to repeat these words with real intention, meaning and feeling and depth, okay? So just repeat after me. We command Saint Germain.
Command Saint Germain.
Melissa, to pour the purple flame through the aura and subtle bodies to burn away all low frequency energies that we have discovered so that new higher level vibrations can be accessed, accepted, and encoded. Saint Germain and higher self, please burn out in one go. 100% the core issue through all levels and dimensions. 100% the original cause through all levels and dimensions. 100% the source of its power. Through all levels and dimensions. 100% all energy attached. Nice release, Kathy. Through all levels and dimensions. 100% all of its effects. Through all levels and dimensions. Thank you. Well done, everyone. So just feel the shift. Just come back into the feeling space in your body. And just when you're ready to gently come back into the space, you can open your eyes and come back. And if anyone wants to share, how they're feeling or how that was for them, they're welcome to. Or you can just keep letting that settle. Let it settle into the body. I wanted to do a bit more actually, but there are other things. So I'm going to run more of these. I think I'm going to do one a month, where I do much more divine healing. And because I know all of you as well, I'm thinking about doing a membership where I do monthly divine healing group sessions. It'll be for a very small group like this, where we spend an hour and a half to 2 hours every month going through the energies that we need to clear as a collective, because I've done it before with someone and it's extraordinarily powerful. And one-on-one sessions are lovely because they're very personal, but I didn't think group sessions would be as powerful as the ones I've experienced. So that's something I'm going to create within the next month. And I am going to do some offers in the follow-up email. I'm going to put those there in case anyone sees them. You guys all know me, so it's fine. But for anyone watching this, it's where you can reach me. And I think we're just going to let everything settle, and hopefully you'll all sleep well tonight. And I'll send you all the recording and the follow-up and some offers for divine healing and soul contract reading tomorrow. I know most of you have had sessions with me, so Yes, that's why I mentioned the membership. Yeah. You guys were a beautiful, captive audience. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I'm going to stop sharing.
Well, thank you so much, Antonia. That was amazing.
Oh,
I think, like Melissa said, such a beautiful presentation as well, and so like informative. Like I feel like I learned so much more about, well, everything that you spoke about, and I loved the what if and the reverse psychology as well. And yeah, it was interesting what came up for me actually with the program and belief and what I just did with the healing. So yeah, thank you very much.
lovely. Oh, you're so welcome. You know what? The ego will want to forget all of these lovely processes. So I really recommend putting them on a post-it note and putting them on your bathroom or by a light switch. I have ones around my house saying, I love myself, and remember to tap. And actually in one of the exercises, I forgot, if you are programming in a lovely what if or a lovely positive affirmation, tap your small intestine 3, which is on the side of your hand, and it's like a direct channel into the body, and it feels really good. And you can also tap your thymus chest area when you're saying good things for yourself. Okay. But yeah, Emily, you're so welcome. It was joyful to have you here, and I really enjoyed the presentation. I love making stuff like that. My secret creativity. Yeah, and thank you, Kathy. I just saw your message. Yeah, and if you guys have got any questions, then you're welcome to email me. You've all got my email.
It was amazing. Thank you so much, Antonia. As usual, stuff comes up for me. I just have to listen to your wonderful voice, and it's beautiful. So thank you. It was powerful.
You're so welcome, Catherine, because you were so brave, because you go deep every time. And I've trained with Catherine, and we've done session swaps with each other. And Catherine is so courageous in her willingness to go deep into her stuff. And that is just very awe-inspiring to see.
Thank you so much.
Keep doing it. Yeah.
Great. I knew you'd rock it.
Thanks, Catherine. Yeah. So I think you guys can just go and chill out now and have some supper, and well, in the UK it's 7:30 here, and I'll pop you an email tomorrow and let you know some goings on, some offers, that idea of a membership. I just need to put it together. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I will see you all next time.
Thank you very much, Antonia. It was beautiful.
You're so welcome, Diana. So lovely to see you as always.
Thank you so much, Antonia.
You're so welcome, Hayley. Enjoy your evening.
Bye.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.
Bye, Diana. Bye, Melissa.
Antonio, I did want to, I was going to email you, but I thought if I kind of stayed at the end, I do want to set up a divine healing. Oh,
yes, let me just stop the recording.